Welcome to the Modern Warfare 3 PC beta. In this video we're gonna do a full breakdown of the whole thing, everything that this beta has to offer. All the menus, all the gunsmith, the perks, the operators, gameplay, pretty much everything. And we're gonna start off with the menus. So, this is infinitely better than Modern Warfare 2 already. If you're not familiar with that, the issue is that they have these gigantic buttons. Like what they're fitting on screen right now, like they have 4 buttons right here. In Modern Warfare 2, these occupy the whole screen. So Sledgehammer has decided to cut them down in size. And I very much agree with this choice. Even though everybody would prefer that these were vertical menus, I see absolutely no reason for them not to go for vertical menus, but they're going still with the style, I guess, of COD HQ. I'm guessing they just can't go for vertical menus. I'm not sure why, but what they have going on here is at least a little better. Not perfect, but it is a little better. At least they are able to fit like double the amount of buttons at once than with the current COD HQ menus. So yeah, it is an improvement. It is absolutely an improvement. One new addition to the menus is that we now have an info button for every playlist. So, for example, in this mosh pit, what exactly does it have? Well, it has the maps, SA Favela, High Rise, Rust, and Skid Row. And then it tells you what game modes there are, kill confirmed, domination, hardpoint, etc, etc. So if you're ever at any doubt in what a playlist exactly offers, then yeah, you got a button to show you what it is. Anyways, we're gonna do weapons a bit later because there's a lot to talk about here. A lot. So we're gonna go to the operators first. It's pretty much the same thing as Modern Warfare 2, same menu. Nothing really to talk about here, other than, well, we do have the Vault Edition skins. So there's Price, there's Ghost, there's Warden, there's Macro. I don't know why it takes so long to load these things, but yeah. So these are the operators that you get with the Vault Edition of the game, and these are absolutely not their default skins. Want me to show you why? Well, if I go to Macro here, hey, he's smoking through the mask. Yeah, that doesn't make any sense. This is absolutely not the default skin. And I think, yeah, it says Nemesis Macrob. I think the default skin would just be called Macrob. So what I'm hoping with this is that they don't do the same tomfoolery that they did with Modern Warfare 2, where the Vault Edition skins, or rather the Vault Edition operators, were exclusive to the Vault Edition and there was no way to unlock them by playing the game. That was Price, Ghost, Soap, and Vyra. And the Vault Edition skins are the default skins in that game for whatever reason. I still find that stupid, and I hope that they don't do that here. The store, well, this is where you would be able to buy the Vault Edition, buy the regular game. Since I already have the Vault Edition, then it has nothing to offer, but this is where you'll be able to find the bundles and such things. So, nothing to talk about here. Next, let's go over the kill streaks. So, just like Modern Warfare 2, you can toggle between kill streaks and score streaks. Pretty much the same thing, same idea as that game. And just like Modern Warfare 2, there is no reason at all to run kill streaks, because any kind of assist or extra bonus points that you get from like the streaks themselves, or by assist kills or things like that, those will always help you towards the next streak. Whereas with kill streaks, you don't have that benefit. It's just kills and nothing else. And even for Slayers, I feel like there's no reason at all to run kill streaks. It's a waste. Honestly, they should just stick with score streaks, but I guess it's nice to have the option. Also, just to remind everybody, a kill with score streaks is worth 125 points in any game mode. So that makes it absolutely not worth running kill streaks at all. So yeah, sticking with score streaks. We have a couple of ones from Modern Warfare 2. They haven't confirmed if they're gonna add every single score streak from Modern Warfare 2, but we do have a couple of carryovers. Obviously the UAV, counter UAV are always gonna be there. You have the SAE, remote turret, yeah, these are from Modern Warfare 2. But there's a couple of new ones. Actually, there's a bit of a balance. Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, and then there's 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, they have 4 from Modern Warfare 2 and 4 new ones. So now we have the Mosquito drone. If you recall Black Ops 2 once again, they had the Hunter-Killer drone, which you just threw the Hunter-Killer drone, it found a player and killed them immediately, even if they had Blast Shield or EOD or whatever the hell they had in that game. This is the same thing, pretty much. Then there's the Stun Turret, a nice set it and forget it kind of streak. In this beta, it's only useful to take down UAVs and counter UAVs, and it takes some time. It doesn't target them immediately, but perhaps you, like, if say an enemy calls in a counter UAV, maybe you can destroy it faster than the SAM turret can, but that also means that you have to focus on shooting it, and you're probably gonna get flanked at that point. Who knows, the spawns in this game are crazy enough where that's a big worry. So it's up to you to decide whether you like running this or no. I like running it because this game is going back to somewhat traditional minimap. Then I don't feel like UAV is such a crutch for me anymore. I can see the red dots on the minimap just fine, and not everybody is running silencers, or even right now not everybody is running ghost. So I don't know, I don't feel like UAV is incredibly necessary, but it's still useful, of course, or mosquito drone. But I like, by the way, that these two are in the same tier, I guess, because that makes it so that people don't always run the mosquito drone. I found that in Black Ops 2 it was very annoying when players kept running that hunter-killer drone, and they could run it with UAV, so there was no trade-off. But in this game, there is a trade-off, so I see this thing every now and then, but not all the time, and that's pretty nice. Next we have the Guardian from Black Ops 2, go figure, but it's not as powerful, thankfully. This thing doesn't kill you. It's not able to kill you, it only slows you down. It has a pretty nice range for it as well, but another thing that it does is it removes your HUD while you're in the effect of the Guardian, and there's a bit of a bug that doesn't occur too often, but it occurs every now and then, where you are affected by the Guardian and then you leave its area of effect, I suppose, and it still removes your HUD. And you won't get it back until you respawn, so hopefully Sledgehammer does get on top of that, or maybe they have, I don't know. It's a very rare bug, but it happens every now and then. And finally, the Juggernaut Recon. Not nearly as useful as a regular Juggernaut, at 1900 points in Modern Warfare 2. This one is not as durable, but at least it does come with a riot shield and a Haymaker shotgun. I guess this is replacing the Origin 12 from Modern Warfare 2019. It looks the same, and yeah, not really worth running this one. It's pretty slow. It can mantle just fine. It can do all the things that you can. It just can't slide, and it's very slow, and it's not as durable. Yeah. So yeah, that's the streaks. Pretty much the same thing as last year, but with a couple of new additions. I would like it if they do bring every single streak from Modern Warfare 2 and they just add new things. There's also gonna be an EMP that was in the reveal trailer that they don't have here. I'm guessing because it's gonna be way too expensive. Now the Creator class. So let me get a, yeah, so this is a standard Creator class. So you have the traditional primary weapon, secondary, tactical, lethal, field upgrade. It's called field equipment now for some reason, and 3 perks. So let's go over the perks first. Going back to traditional, because for whatever reason Infinity Ward said, no, we're gonna charge perks, and we're not gonna do anything about it other than just speed it up to the point where the bonus perk, the first one that gets charged, is charged at like 1 or 2 minutes into a match. So the idea of it being something that you have to earn throughout the match is just pointless because you just earn it immediately. I don't know, I feel like Infinity Ward just tried to do something new for the sake of making it new, but it just didn't work, nobody liked it, and they never fixed it, because that's Infinity Ward for you. Sledgehammer, on the other hand, says, hey, let's go back to traditional perk system, but let's make it a bit more immersive, because now it's based on gear. So for example, you have gloves right here, which are all based on things like handling, or, well, whatever you configure you would do with your hands, like pick up ammo with scavenger gloves, or swap weapons faster with this thing, or reload while sprinting with the commander gloves. If you were to find this system a bit confusing, it's like, oh, this is a glove, and then it's a different glove, and another glove. Well, you do have the perk symbol that is represented in the corner. But yeah, this is like reload while sprinting. You can kind of tell by the symbol. Then this is a scavenger symbol. This is the amped symbol, I think, from 2019. Or at least what it's supposed to be. Then you have boots for anything that's related to mobility. So you have lightweight boots with the lightweight perk here, or symbol rather. Or you have this, climbing boots. You mantle faster. Stalker boots. It's a stalker perk that lets you strafe faster while aiming down the sights. Tactical pads. This is one of my favorite ones for aggressive classes. This one lets you ADS while sliding, and you also slide faster. Pretty much the best for SMGs, or even for some assault rifle classes. This thing's just great. I love these things. And then the return of Ninja, because everybody wants this thing. Completely silent footsteps. Yeah. W. Not sure if Sledgehammer is gonna do the same thing that they did with Vanguard, where they have Ninja and Dead Silence as a field upgrade both at the same time, or if they're just gonna cover it with this. I don't know. It's something that they could do, but we're not sure about it. And then you have the third one, which is Gear. And this is pretty much everything else that's not covered by boots or gloves, not attached to any particular part of the body. So you have, for example, EOD padding for your shoulders. So this is the EOD perk, the one that resists explosives. Then you have Tact Mask, which is battle hardened. You resist tacticals with this. Missile Control Comlink, it's hardline, pretty much. The Home Construction Headset, this is awareness. And supposedly this is making you hear enemy footsteps more clear, but also toning down the level of any other thing like combat noise. I'm not sure what they mean by combat noise. Is it gunshots? Is it, I don't know, what else is it? Supposedly it should also reduce the level of your teammates' sounds, but I believe that it actually doesn't work properly, so who knows? That's something that they should probably look at. LR detector is high alert, but it's also kind of, it's worded weird. So it says warns of hostile laser and radiation sources. So this implies that you are only alerted when an enemy has a laser attachment, or maybe a flashlight, it's the same thing, because that's a radiation source, and they point at you with it. And that's the only moment where you're alerted. The thing is, not everybody's running lasers in this game because they are quite visible and they're not as strong as that one laser from Modern Warfare 2 that everybody runs, myself included. And then finally you have Ghost. But this is the version of Ghost where you have to move so that it activates, which is amazing. I don't understand why Infinity Ward is so insistent on not having it like this, but Sledgehammer is correcting that mistake. Thank you very much. But that's not all, because you have a fourth perk slot, the Vest. And this is the most influential perk choice in the entire creator class this time. You can think of it as a mix of divisions from World War II and wildcards from the Black Ops series, kind of like that. What it does is it changes how your creator class works. So the standard one, the Infantry Vest, keeps your creator class regular with no additions or no trade-offs, and it's also the Double Time perk. Yeah, Double Time. The one that increases attack sprint duration and reduces refresh time. So yeah, if you want no changes, no trade-offs, everything regular, then you just run Infantry Vest and you get Double Time. Oh, there's also Engineer Vest. This one gives you the Engineer perk where you can see enemy equipment and kill streaks through walls. Pretty nice, but also it removes your lethal grenade in favor of giving you 2 tacticals, and it gives you a second gear slot. So for example, you can combine Tac Mask with EOD padding. So that's a pretty common combo. You now resist both lethals and tacticals. Or you have the Gunner Vest, which is a lot of things. It's Bandolier from COD 4. It's Overkill, where you can run 2 primaries. And it's also Fast Hands, or Sleight of Hand. You reload faster, you have 2 primaries, and you have max ammo. It's 3 perks in 1. The only trade-off is boots. You no longer have access to boots, which I think is a fair trade-off. That means that you don't have like better sliding, or you're not faster, or you will take fall damage. Like, I believe that that's a good place to start to balance overkill, because it is kind of a problem in Modern Warfare 2 with like riot shields where the hitbox on those are completely broken. So if they're gonna be running those kinds of things, then yeah, they don't have access to boots, but you do. So you're infinitely more mobile than your opponents at that point. So yeah, fair trade-off. Is it enough? I don't know. Maybe they also need to remove gloves, but that's something that we'll see down the line. As of right now, it's not an issue, but that's because we have a very limited pool of weapons. So this is something I think we'll need to see on launch, how balanced or not this is. But I also find it funny that it is like 3 perks in 1, even though it's just one symbol, but it's pretty powerful. And then we have the Demolition Vest, which is Resupply, the one that recharges your lethal and tacticals. You also get 2 lethals with this, and no other trade-off. So yeah, if you're the kind of demo player that loves to throw grenades all over the place, this is the perk for you, or rather the best. I'm pretty sure that on the full launch we'll have like a couple more of these, And Sledgehammer has been known for adding perks post-launch. I'm hoping that they are focused on adding more vests, particularly. Maybe even more than gloves, boots, or gear. I want them to add more vests, because I want to see more... I want to see exactly what they can do to the creator class to make it more varied, and what kinds of perks that they can give you as a result. Again, it's all about trade-offs, like this, well, I mean, the trade-off with Demolition Vest is that you don't get the other amazing perks. You don't get double time, you don't get engineer, you don't get 3 perks in one, you get resupply. It's very specialized, this one. I'd love to see something like Underkill, an Underkill vest that gives you perhaps more, I don't know, maybe just 2 secondaries, maybe no lethals or no tacticals, and then it gives you 6 perks in total, like 2 gloves, 2 boots, 2 gear. Which I know it doesn't make sense to have 2 sets of gloves or boots at the same time. Who cares? There's no cosmetic change anyway, so might as well just stack the effects, why not? Or, I would love to see a specialist vest. I'm thinking of a vest that gives you specialist strike package from the original Modern Warfare 3, the one where you earn perks instead of score streaks. Or kill streaks, rather. And that itself is the trade-off. You don't have kill streaks, you earn perks instead. Is there another trade-off that it could have? I don't know. Maybe it just keeps the creator class standard, but then you just have specialist. I think that would be a nice way to go about it. And maybe it gives you like another perk on its own. Who knows? These vests also mentioned, for example, duplicate effects do not stack if equipped with MWIII holster, which I'm guessing is a piece of gear that they'll have on launch. Gain the effect of mission comlink. So mission comlink, I think, was, yeah, the hardline. So this leads me to think that there is a MWIII holster piece of gear that'll give you max ammo on its own, but it won't stack with the gun. Yeah, it won't stack with the gun or vest. So if you have that equipped, then it'll just have the effect of another perk. So vests may have similar effects to other pieces of gear, but they will never stack, so you're never really wasting a slot for a perk, even if you make a wrong choice. They're just gonna switch the effect to something else, and it's telling you exactly what it is. What do we have here? Well, limited selection again. I'm pretty sure there's gonna be many more. The star of the show for me is the ACS. This thing is incredible. Teammates in Call of Duty don't like playing the objective. On domination, you can capture flags twice as fast because this counts as a teammate, or it just captures it for you while you're waiting for your opponent somewhere else, right? Or on a hardpoint, if you need to move away from a hardpoint because there's a lot of pressure there, put this in a corner or hide it somewhere inside the hardpoint, and guess what? You don't have to be there, and you'll be able to wait your opponents in a much better location. Pretty nice stuff here. Munitions box is pretty standard. Med box, something I don't see an awful lot of people running. I don't know exactly what this does. Does it heal you when you go near it, or does it give you like a stim shot or battle rage? I don't know. It just says deploy a box of medical supplies for you and your teammates. I'm guessing that if you just go near this thing, then it'll heal you faster. Maybe. I'll have to try it. I haven't actually used this that much because trophy system and ACS are much more useful for me. Comm Scrambler is something that prevents your enemies from using kill streaks when they're in the radius of this thing, but at the same time, when you drop this, your enemies will be able to see the radius on the minimap. So it's just a matter of finding it. And if they're running engineer, then they're just gonna be able to see this through walls and destroy it. So I don't know how useful this really is. Not massively popular, this one. And finally, trophy system. Incredibly useful for objective game modes as well. We have lethals. Very limited selection again. Frag grenade, Semtex. Thermobaric is another type of frag grenade, but this one leaves a trail of fire, and apparently explosives inside the trail of fire are also more effective, but I don't see anybody use this thing. It's more like a support kind of grenade. Maybe there's a best in the full launch where you have 2 lethals, like 2 different lethals instead of a tactical, so maybe you're supposed to combine this with a Semtex or a frag or something like that. I don't know. The most useful one, though, is this, the Breacher drone. And just throw this thing forward. It's a skill shot, and it explodes on impact. It's very simple, but it's very powerful if you use it properly. Say you want to take a point, you want to contest a hard point. Just throw this thing to the ground, and it'll do some damage. Or throw this at a window with a sniper in it, and you'll scare the sniper, so you'll be able to move away, or move towards the sniper to contest him. There's many uses for this thing. Pretty nice stuff. For tacticals, there's three new things. Oh yeah, battle rage for whatever reason has moved from a field upgrade to a lethal. I mean tactical. Why? I don't know. Is this going to replace a stim shot? I don't know, but it serves a similar purpose to heal you faster. The EMD grenade, this stacks enemies on the minimap when it explodes, which is really interesting. This serves a similar function to the snapshot grenade, which makes me think that might not come back to this game. But who knows? The snapshot was something that on explosion it reveals enemies through walls temporarily. It is useful, not seeing everybody running it, and I'm not seeing anybody running this thing either. And then the scatter mine, which I've not seen almost anybody use. Apparently it's just drop this thing and it drops mines in a wide area and then detonate within range. I believe all this does is stun, or it may also do some damage. Not sure. It's a tactical, so it shouldn't really do damage, but I've been hit by it once, and I think it did do some damage. I'm not quite sure about how effective this is, but for the flash grenade, there is actually a really cool mechanic in this game. Just like Counter-Strike, if you turn away from the explosion of the flash, you will avoid the effect. It may stun you a bit, but you're not gonna go blind if you put your back towards the flash grenade, which is really freaking cool. It's a mechanic that I've always wanted to see in Call of Duty, and it's finally here. Thank you, Sledgehammer. Pretty thoughtful of you. And now, the weapons. So let me go. There's a couple of points that I want to make, so I'm gonna go with the Renetti here. So we go to the gunsmith. Pretty similar to Modern Warfare 2, almost no difference, except for the fact that there's no receiver button here, because they've done away from the weapon platform system that they had in that game. I've seen no evidence of this in this game. You unlock every weapon through just player levels, and you don't have to use a weapon to unlock another weapon like you had to do in Modern Warfare 2. It's sad to see for me that had to go. Sad, but it had to happen, I guess. You know what's also sad about this? It's, for example... Okay, so you have your weapon progression here. Seems pretty normal, pretty standard, but we run into an issue right here. At level 4, for the Renetti, you unlock the optic category. You're not unlocking an optic, you're just unlocking the category. So what would happen exactly if... Okay, I didn't play Modern Warfare 2, and I want to use the Renetti as my first gun, for whatever reason, right? There's gotta be someone out there who has this exact experience. And they level this thing to level 4, and they will unlock the category. Oh, wrong button. Oh yeah, this works. Party and friends. Okay. So they want to unlock the category, but they don't have any optic unlocked. So this menu would look like they have nothing. Every optic available here would be locked, and they leveled up that weapon to absolutely no effect. Level 4 would be completely meaningless. It would look something more like this, for example. Like, for whatever reason, I have access to the laser category here, but look, I can't see it. I can select a single laser because I don't have it unlocked. Like, come on. I've said this during Modern Warfare 2 in that beta. Please don't do this. Why are we locking attachment categories behind levels? What is the point of having a universal attachment system like optics, muzzle devices, lasers? All of those are universal, right? What is the point of having that kind of system if you're locking the categories behind levels? Arbitrarily so. Like ammo's at level 11. Why? I don't know. And then why is optic at level 4 and not a level 2? Beats me. I don't understand why they have to do this. I think it's stupid. I don't think there's a real reason why a weapon at level 1 has to be painful to grind. Why? We already have attachments unlocked from other guns. Why can't I just equip them to another different gun that I just started leveling up with? I thought that was the whole point when they rebuilt it in Modern Warfare 2, and they didn't go through with that. And now this, yeah. It's unfortunate, but I have to report this. There is a way to... let's see. So what if I had like level 3, not level 4, and I wanted to equip an optic? Well, in the middle of a match, you actually can. They haven't disabled this for whatever reason, but in the middle of a match you can go to any category. All categories are unlocked, and you can equip whatever you have from the universal pool of attachments. So if I had my Rennery at level 0, I can still equip optics. In fact, I'll show you what I did with another gun. So yeah. Other than that, pretty similar, and well, I guess you wouldn't see it on the Rennery, but yeah, there's no evidence that you'll unlock another gun through the Rennery. This is not a platform. You would think that that system is entirely gone, but I'm pretty sure that they had it in mind when they designed the new guns for this game, and I'll show you why later. But yeah, there's that. Another thing that they said is that there are multiple guns that will unlock a specific universal attachment. For example, the monolithic suppressor here. It's unlocked by the Rennery, but on the full launch, it may also be unlocked by a different gun. Let's say this is unlocked by a battle rifle. So whichever one you unlock first unlocks it for every other gun, which is cool. The trade-off is that it makes, like for example, I unlock the monolithic on a different gun, and then I use the Rennery and I level up to 3, and I get nothing for it. There's no compensation for doing that. So yeah, bit sad that it has to be like that, but at the same time it gives players more options to unlock whatever they want. And finally, conversion kits. I don't know why this isn't loading. You would think that 1 year in and they would have this figured out, but yeah, Modern Warfare 2 has the same issues. So, conversion kits. There's a new kind of attachment that converts your gun into something completely different. So the Rennery by default is a burst fire pistol, right? It's the Raffica from Modern Warfare 2. But you can apply this Jack Ferocity carbine kit. And okay, so it's a full auto fire. It allows for tactical stance, yeah, new gameplay mechanic. It comes pre-equipped with an underbarrel and a stock, but it also allows you to equip stock attachments now, and supposedly underbarrels as well. And yeah, it essentially turns the Rennery into an actual SMG. A pretty useful one at that. So hello, this is pretty dang cool. And it only takes 1 attachment slot. So the closest thing is, this is similar to like operator mods from Black Ops 4. But the reason why those weren't that useful or even that popular was that they cost 3 points in a Pick 10 system. 1 point for the wildcard to allow you to equip the operator mod, and then the operator mod itself costs 2 points. So effectively 3 points in the Pick 10, but in this game, no, it's just converted and it's 1 attachment slot. Pretty cool stuff. And finally, another thing I wanted to mention is, on launch, supposedly, we should have advanced stats, basically telling us the exact measures of what the attachments are doing to our guns. In like ADS speed, sprint to fire speed, how much hipfire spread our guns have, even how much recoil they produce, pretty much everything. For whatever reason, Infinity Ward doesn't want to have that in this game, or rather in Modern Warfare 2, but Sledgehammer says, no, we are gonna bring it back, finally. That also means that it could come to Warzone, which would be pretty exciting for Warzone players, because they've never had advanced stats, which I find crazy. And that's just because it wasn't implemented in the Modern Warfare 2019 engine that they were running on for so long, and Modern Warfare 2 doesn't have advanced stats, so yeah, this could be a first for Warzone. Really cool. Also, this game actually tells you magnitudes of how much these things affect your gun by the chevrons here on the pros and cons. Also, I don't think I've seen a single attachment that has no cons. So, for example, this suppressor right here, it harms my recoil control by 1 point, let's call it, and it increases my bullet velocity by 1 point. But then the monolithic suppressor decreases my ADS speed by 2 points, but increases my recoil control by 2 points. So it tells you, or at least it gives you an idea of the magnitude of the effect of this attachment on the gun. How cool is that? If I don't want to bother with the advanced stats, I can discern a little bit quicker as to what do I exactly want to attach on this, because Modern Warfare 2 says it just helps you with recoil control and it helps you ADS speed. or it just helps bullet velocity but it harms AD speed, or it helps with, I don't know, hip fire spread but it harms AD speed, because everything harms AD speed in that game. Not in this game, by the way. Pretty cool. Like, suppressor that doesn't harm AD speed. Holy moly, that's pretty cool. But yeah, it also tells me, hey, maybe I want to run this, but I know that my AD speed is going to be harmed a lot more. Or maybe I run this and I harm my AD speed by nothing, but I'm not going to get that big of an effect either. So pretty cool stuff here. And also you have like these special chevrons that give you this special effect. Like this is undetectable by radar because it's a suppressor. Like cool. Or this one doesn't have that, it just helps you with recoil control by 2 points, but harms AD speed by 1. And in this game, harming AD speed by 1 is almost nothing, as I found. Or this one, it improves our horizontal recoil by 3 points. Now, we don't know how much this is exactly, but if we do end up getting advanced stats, then we will know. And maybe there will be, like, maybe these points mean a percentage. Maybe they don't. Who knows? That's a lot of stuff to figure out by launch, but as of right now, if the system stayed like this, as it is, I'd be fine with it. Because this is infinitely better than what we had before. Anywho, now I want to show you, let's see. Oh yeah, so there's that exploit in the beta that I mentioned earlier. Doesn't show here. Oh, I might have actually screwed it up. So the idea was that I started leveling up this MTC 762, and of course, when I equipped it at level 1, I had access to none of the attachments. Now I only have access to barrels and stocks. Okay, but when I entered a game, I was able to modify it, and I had access to all of the categories. So I actually put 5 attachments on it, like it was a gun at like it wasn't a gun at level 1. And I wish that the entire game worked like that. And if anything, I wish they don't patch this, because that's exactly what I wanted out of this system. I have a gun at level 1, but I have all of these universal attachments from the other guns that I did use. Why can't I just put them on the gun? So, yeah. Also, I did mention that weapon platforms were not exactly gone. And that's because, for example, we have essentially the MTZ platform. The MTZ 556 is an assault rifle, the 762 is a battle rifle, and then there's also the Interceptor, which is a marksman rifle. It's an MTZ platform, but it's not unlocked like a Modern Warfare 2 platform. And yeah, I'm pretty sure players are going to be happier about this, and as far as I'm aware, the MTC platform do share some of the attachments. Like, I believe some of the grips are shared between the MTC guns, or the barrels, or the stocks. Things like that. It makes sense that they would be, so they're universal to those guns particularly. But they're not telling you, this is a MTC platform or anything like that. You kind of have to realize yourself that that's what it is. I believe that's pretty much what allowed Infinity Ward to have so many guns on launch for Modern Warfare 2, because they had so many platforms, and a lot of these guns had similar models as well, like the AUGs, the SMG, the assault rifle, and the LMG. Both, all of them have the exact same model for the gun itself, but it's just the barrel or the magazine. Those have different models, but yeah, a lot less work needed to introduce more guns to the game, which I thought was a really good idea. Sledgehammer seems to be doing something like that as well, but apparently they're not introducing that many new guns to this game, so I mean, at least they play differently, but yeah, maybe it also means that there's not going to be that much variety when the game comes out. So yeah, something to keep track of, I suppose. But not only that, they're also putting new guns from old platforms from Modern Warfare 2. So for example, there's a Castopia platform that was composed of the AKs and the PP19s and such. Now there's this one, the SBA 545. This is the AN94 in real life, with the Hyperburst feature included. Pretty much a Castopia gun. But not only that, we also have a KB inhibitor. KB stands for Castopia, so this is a Castopia sniper. Cool. You would expect something like a Dragunov or something like that to be part of a Castopia platform, but here you have a Castopia sniper. And then there's this thing, the longbow. This looks more like an AK than anything. Like the magazine mag, the upper receiver, the stock, like all of this looks like an AK. This is probably also a custodial platform gun, but it doesn't look like it shares many things with the inhibitor. In fact, I think that the name should be swapped, because this doesn't look like an AK at all to me. This does. So I don't know, it makes more sense to me that this would be the KB inhibitor and not this thing. Who knows? Sometimes they change the names from beta to launch. That may happen here, I'm not sure. This one's kind of crazy, by the way. This is like a 25 round magazine bolt action sniper. Very weak, but it fires really quickly for a bolt action. It's pretty much adapted from an assault rifle. And adapted from an assault rifle is this thing, the Riveter. This is a full auto shotgun, and you can clearly tell that this is an M4, or at least it would be an M4 platform shotgun. It's also full auto, and if you equip like slug rounds on this, it's essentially a battle rifle at that point with a shitload of recoil. But yeah, playing with older platforms to make new guns out of them. The M4 never had a shotgun in that platform. It did have an SMG, but this is another type of SMG. This is the AMR9, and again, you can tell that the receiver is pretty similar. And yeah, the M4 platform did have the FSS Hurricane in Modern Warfare 2, but that's using P90 magazines. This one is using 9mm box magazines. So yeah, another type of SMG on the same platform. I'm all about it. I like it a lot. And then you have some returning guns. You have the Rival 9. This would be the CX9 in Modern Warfare 2019, or the Striker, but this one is actually the, as far as I'm aware, the UMP-45. Or is it? Yeah, it is the UMP-45, the Return of the King. And yeah, you also have like the ACR, it's just called the MCW, but it is the ACR, and it's pretty strong. The Striker, pretty overpowered. They nerfed it for the roll-on to the PC beta, but it's still pretty dang good. Not much else. The MWIII here, this also has a conversion kit. Actually, I might have it unlocked. Let's see if I can... Let's see, I want to... Okay, I'm gonna get rid of this class, and I'm gonna put the MWIII here. And let's see if I have this. Yes, I should. Okay, so the MWIII is a regular LMG. I think it's a PKM, if I'm not mistaken. But it has a conversion kit that makes it bullpup. Bullpup LMG, come on, that's kind of crazy. What does it do exactly? Improves mobility and handling. Improves rate of fire somehow. Improves high fire attacks and spread, but not by much. And then reduces recoil control and bullet velocity. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. And apparently this is like 4 things in one. Apparently this should be fire rate, this should be bullpup, different stock and barrel. So yeah, it changes fundamentally how this whole thing works. It doesn't, like, okay, it makes it fire faster, but it's centered around mobility. This is now a mobile LMG, and that's my favorite archetype of LMGs in Call of Duty. So I think I want to use this, and I'm gonna probably enjoy it. Other than that, I don't think there's much else to say. You do have a range of universal attachments, like, hey, this angle grip, it's unlocked by the KB inhibitor. This one's unlocked by the MCW 6.8, the marksman rifle version of the ACR. And then you have this vertical grip, which is unlocked by a shotgun. Like, yeah, these are universal attachments still. And yeah, again, pretty much the same as Modern Warfare 2, but much improved. I like the system a lot, and I really like that they're bringing back the Modern Warfare 2 guns, as in Modern Warfare 2 2022, because they're also gonna fall under this system as far as I'm aware, and that's much better. And they're probably gonna feel a lot better because this game doesn't have infinite muzzle smoke or crazy sight bouncing like they had in that game. And they're gonna fall under this system of like telling me exactly how much an attachment affects my gun. I love this idea. So generally, Gunsmith 2.0 has been improved with this game. It's just that this thing, like, come on, what is this garbage? Ammo category, but it doesn't look an ammo it doesn't look an ammo attachment. It just unlocks a category, right? Yeah, some rubbish. I don't like it. It's also weird that launch guns are having this issue already, because that means that they'll probably not have too many attachments on launch. It's gonna be a more limited selection than Modern Warfare 2, but some people will see it as a positive because that game has way too many attachments and they don't all tell you exactly what they do. It's a massive problem. Maybe this game will fix that. Also, if I recall correctly, Modern Warfare 3 guns will benefit from universal attachments from Modern Warfare 2. So, for example, optics, you're not gonna be limited to just this selection. It seems like you'll also be able to use the Modern Warfare 2 attachments, like the Slimline Pro or the Slate Reflector. Now you have two attachments that are pretty similar, and now it just comes down to choice. Which one do you like better? Also, funny thing is, for the optics, they brought back a lot of the optics from Vanguard, like the Slate Reflector or the NIDAR or the Mark 23. Yeah, these are from Vanguard. But they make a ton more sense in this game, and I appreciate that because, yeah, I like those sights. It's just that I don't like that they were in a World War II game. They didn't make any sense. So, yeah, they make a lot more sense here. I like it. Customization-wise, well, I'm working on a blueprint here, so it looks like this, but there'll be camo selections, of course. It seems like they're going for the exact same camo system as Modern Warfare 2, which makes me happy because it's very fast to grind a gun to both max level and to unlock all of the camos for it that then apply to all of the other guns in the game, to unlock the mastery camos. Pretty cool system that they had going on. Everybody praised it, and they shouldn't stray away from it. Also, there's gonna be zombies camos for all of the Modern Warfare 3 and Modern Warfare 2 guns. So there's still gonna be a reason to grind those Modern Warfare 2 guns. You now have access to new zombies camos. How cool is that? So yeah. General improvements across the board here. I like what they're doing with Modern Warfare 3 in general. Is it perfect? No. Hell no it is. But it's a huge step up from Modern Warfare 2. I know it's a $70 DLC. It is. It really is. But it's not a $70 DLC to Modern Warfare 2 exactly. It's a $70 DLC to the whole COD HQ application. And the engine's gonna get updated from that constantly. Hopefully Warzone's gonna adopt all of these changes. Well, we know they're not adopting the perks, which is sad. Like, they're still gonna be using perk packages from Modern Warfare 2. But I hope that they adopt the new gunsmith. I hope that they adopt these menus so that it's less of a mess. Like, the COD HQ UI is so horrible. And I don't think this is going to be that much better, but it is going to be better enough that Warzone should benefit from this as well. So, that's pretty much it from the menus. Now let's jump into a game and show you the new gameplay mechanics. So, here's the match on Skid Row. For this one I was using the MWIII 762, and because you unlock the bullpup configuration for it with the aftermarket parts, I decided to try it out and found out that there are attachment categories that have exclusive attachments with the aftermarket parts. In this case, there was a barrel and then some magazine attachments that were exclusive to it, possibly with different effects and such, that you only had access to with this bullpup configuration, otherwise you would be locked out of them. But they also lock you out of, say there's a 75 round magazine for this gun as a bullpup configuration, and then there's another one but for the regular configuration, so you're locked out of the other one, if you get what I'm saying. Pretty cool. Now, one of the mechanics that I was trying to show here is tag stance. Tag stance is the perfect middle ground between ADS and hipfire. So you still have some hipfire spread, as you can see right there, but at the same time, you don't move as slowly as you do with ADS. You strip a lot faster, you're not perfectly accurate, but in this situation right here, in this specific part of Skid Row, you don't really need the extra accuracy that you would get out of ADS. Like, what you get out of tactical stance is enough in some situations. But that's true for only some situations. I feel like it's a niche mechanic, and it'll need to get popular on its own. People will need to see if it really is worth using, if it's powerful enough, because if it's not, then it's gonna go underutilized, as I've seen in this beta. People are not using it quite a lot. I have to force myself to remember that there is a tactical stance. So unless we are told exactly what the benefits of this is. I mean, we know what they are, it's just that we kind of need to see it. We need to prove that these benefits are in fact true, and that we should be using this mechanic more often. Because when that happens, that's when it'll get popular. If it doesn't happen, then it's gonna be forgotten. But I do appreciate the effort in trying something new, trying something different. We're not used to doing something like this in Call of Duty. I mean, we're used to Hipfire and ADS, nothing in between. And usually things that go in between are not the most popular things in anything ever. So I'll have to say, I think only time will tell whether this mechanic is going to see use or not, and if it does, then hopefully it will be translated into future Call of Duties. COD 2024, the next Modern Warfare game, whatever Sledgehammer does after this game. Yeah, it's good that they're experimenting with something like this. And if it goes underutilized, then it's not doing any harm anyways. Like, you're not gonna see people complain that, oh, tactical sense is too powerful, remove it from the game. It's just an option. You can toggle it on or off if you want. It is awkward to use on controller. I found, well, not found, I've seen people complain about it on controller because you have to press down on the D-pad to activate it. And, well, at least that's by default. There are ways to change it, I'm pretty sure. On PC you can as well. I had it on the melee key by default, so I changed it to mouse 4. And yeah, pretty good thing to have anyway. If it's not useful, then it's not useful, but it was good to try it at least once. And it doesn't do any harm anyways. The next thing is slide cancelling. So it's returning from Modern Warfare 2019, but not as powerful. In that game, the problem was that it reset your tag sprint. So you would run out of tag sprint, then you would slide cancel, and then go back to tag sprint, and obviously it was not intended to be used that way. So they removed it in Modern Warfare 2, and then we realized actually we did one slide canceling, we just didn't want to reset tag sprint. Because that's what made it broken, and that's what caused a lot of issues as well. Because it was the fastest way to move around the map, especially in Warzone, people found themselves forced to use it all the time. Because it was so busted. But the problem mainly was on controllers, because pulling off the slide cancel on a regular controller is difficult, and possibly a real medical concern for a lot of pros, as in they weren't actually hurting their fingers for trying to slide cancel all the time. It was not a good thing for anybody. So it was a good thing that they, well, we thought it would be a good thing that they removed it, but what we weren't expecting was for Infinity Ward to make sliding so useless in Modern Warfare 2. The benefit of just being able to cancel the slide means that you can get into gunfights a lot better. Not unprepared, and certainly not vulnerable. In fact, you can even ADS while sliding. Well, you can attack ADS while sliding, but if you have the tactical pads, then you can actually ADS while sliding faster, as I've mentioned before probably. That's pretty powerful. And the only concern that people have been having with this slide cancel is the fact that there is a very small but noticeable delay after doing so. Like, you slide cancel and then there's some amount of time where you can't sprint. It was worse in the first weekend of the beta, where it was at 300 milliseconds of delay, whereas in the second weekend it was only 100 milliseconds. So I personally didn't feel it as much, and I found the movement to be quite fluid now that they fixed it. So yeah, the delay is intended to be there, but it's so small that it's kind of minuscule, and honestly I don't find it a problem anymore. It was noticeable in the first weekend, but now it's fine, it's okay, I don't mind it at all. And now that you're more mobile, you're also more survivable, because we now have 150 health, and you might have noticed, of course, it takes a lot longer to kill anybody. So many more shots to kill, like 4 to 5 on average. Of course, some guns are overtuned, like the Striker is really good at close to middle ranges. It's just like the old UMP, where it was really good out of ranges as well. The NCW or the NCR is also really good because it's super accurate and has the damage to boot. That bullet mill that I was using, it has the damage. It really has the damage. I love using it. But yeah, 150 health. unfortunately did feel inconsistent in this beta so far. And I think it has to deal a lot more with the packet bursts that we've been having. Pretty much every match you have packet burst, on PC at least. I'm not sure if the consoles are having that as well or not. I felt it a lot more on PC, unfortunately. And that's obviously a bad sign. I hope that Sledgehammer can get it sorted by launch, because I'm not the only one that's had that. A lot of players, if not pretty much everybody, has had packet burst when they shouldn't. So yeah, bit of a concern right there, and if you're doubtful about it, then don't buy the game until launch happens and they tell you, hey, it's good to go, you don't need to worry about packet burst. Or if you do buy launch, then don't buy it until they fix it. After all, this is a beta, so we are testing for these kinds of things. Is it broken? Does it work? How good is it? Is the connection really good? Are the guns balanced? Do the maps flow well? And they do. The maps really do flow well. Favela, for example, plays different from the original Modern Warfare 2 version. Well, I do have limited experiences with those maps, by the way, but from what I recall, Favela, you didn't see as many people camping or, well, just positioning themselves on the rooftops as much as you do in this game. And that's just because the mobility allows you to get on top of those buildings much easier. Here I was trying to use the MTC 762 and showcasing that, yes, when you are in the middle of a match, you can actually change all of the attachments. You have access to all of the categories and some of the universal attachments that are unlocked in them. But the guns are like level 3 or something like that. And this is what I was talking about. I feel like this should be the default and not an obvious bug, because that's not intended. But I feel like that should be intended. It should be like that. Why am I forced to why am I forced to play with a bad gun when I start leveling it up? Like, I want to have some kind of edge. I've earned these attachments already. Why am I locked out of using them? And even though this gun isn't particularly amazing, at least I do have a red dot to help myself out here. Otherwise, with just the irons, oh boy, no. No, just no. This gun isn't even... This gun's pretty hard to use. Pretty hard to use. It requires perfect tracking, pretty much, because of how slow it fires. And yeah, there's pretty much that. The maps look gorgeous. I do have to say it. This game is really, really, really good looking. Really good looking. Visibility has been an issue the first weekend because of the color scheme and, well, mostly the operator skins. But it's actually been addressed really quickly by Sledgehammer. So it's a common complaint, so we're gonna fix it. The simple fix was add name tags above enemy players. And they did that. That's exactly what they did. Guess what? It works. I don't know why Infinity Ward just kept refusing to do that. It just works. Visibility is not... It's almost a non-issue now. Like, it's impossible to think, hey, these are my teammates. No, those are clearly enemies. I can see the name tags above their heads. And yeah, I know the red, for example, the default color is not easy to see, but you can actually change it. That's why I have it in yellow. Some people like to use pink, for example, and that contrasts really well with the maps here. So it's good to change it to a high contrast color, and you can do that. It's been an option since Modern Warfare 2. Pretty nice. Ultimately, there are issues. It is a beta after all. We're really here just testing for Activision, while at the same time having a demo for what's to come and what we'll be spending our $70 on, or in the case of the Multivision 100. But honestly, I appreciate what Sledgehammer has done for this game. This update for the Modern Warfare 2 engine, I feel, has been necessary. I hope that Warzone do adopt all of these changes and more. It will make that experience a lot more fun for me even. I don't really care about Warzone 2, honestly. I'm happy because this game is pretty much what I wanted. More survivability, more health, better guns. Well, not necessarily better, but it takes a lot more skill. Aim is rewarded, but it's also not overly rewarded. Randomness, for example, with headshots, they have lower multipliers. So it doesn't come down to, hey, I got a lucky headshot and killed my opponent immediately because of it. No, it doesn't come to that almost ever. Balance is, I believe, easier to pull off in this game with every gun. It's not quite there yet. Some guns do feel weaker, like this SVA 545 that I'm using is not that amazing. I feel like it lacks a bit in damage, or that NTC 762 that I was using, for how slow it fires, it deals pretty much no damage. So yeah, balance is not quite there, but I feel like with enough people complaining about him, or the data that they gather from this beta, then I feel like they should have sufficient data to realize what they're doing right and what they're doing wrong. And I think that's as much as we can ask for now. I know launch is not gonna be perfect, don't expect anything to be perfect, and much less Call of Duty. You know how they tend to hype up people a lot, and then they disappoint them just as much. This game's gonna be no exception. People will be disappointed by a lot of things. I don't think I've mentioned spawns yet. They are garbage. They are absolute garbage, and Sledgehammer needs to look at how they work, go back to the drawing board, and do something that works. I'm not saying they should go back to squad spawns, no. I feel like they should go to whatever Call of Duty was doing with the original Modern Warfare 2, for example. Because the maps flow well, but games like Domination are very chaotic, and map control means nothing. And Hardpoint is extremely random, and you just get shot from 4 directions at once, and it's not fun when that happens. So, a lot of pros, a lot of cons. It's not a perfect product. It won't be, will never be. Skill-based matchmaking is also a thing. In the beta, like, it's being very clear that it's still a thing, and I'm not surprised because this is already working off a established engine that already has all these things implemented to it. So there you go. But, apart from all this nonsense, I do feel quite positive about this game, and I have a lot of hope that this is what brings Call of Duty back. Well, more like Call of Duty multiplayer back. Because Modern Warfare 2 was not it. Honestly, I got bored of that game after Season 3, and I kind of didn't want to go back. I went back now because they made some changes, and it's like, okay, it's fine. It's not the worst thing I've ever played. But this is better. I like this a lot more. I feel like maybe without these packet burst issues, better gun balance, then gunfights will probably not feel as inconsistent as they do right now. A lot of factors to look at here, but at the same time, I feel like Sledgehammer are the kinds of developers that will do that recognize a problem and will go after it. Unlike Infinity Ward that pretends that they're not there, or they say, hey, it's by design. No, and this time there are a lot of things were not by design, and they fix them. So, there you go. I'm pretty excited about this game at the end of the day. And that's pretty much it from me. If there is more gameplay to show, then I'll leave you with the rest of the gameplay until this match ends. And I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.
How to muff it like you taking Alpha. Objective Alpha is compromised. Get it back. Enemy securing Bravo. Securing Objective Charlie. We're taking Charlie. Charlie secure. Dropped him. Enemy's taking Bravo. Check your bloody fire. Changing mag. Trophy system out. Shooting. Grenade out. Destroy the. Enemy securing Charlie. We control 2 objectives. Loading! Taking effective fire! Enemy securing Bravo. Throwing flash grenade! Switching knives! Muff it though, you fuck! Got you covered! We've secured the lead. Taking rounds! Enemy's taking Bravo. Flash out! Bravo secure.
Enemy securing Bravo.
Friendly
Enemy
fire, watch
securing
it!
Charlie.
Trophy system out!
Check your damn fire!
We're losing
Friendly,
Charlie.
check your damn fire!
Enemies taking Bravo. Taking fire.
Changing mag!
Friendly UAV online.
Taking effective fire!
Hostile guardian has been deployed.
Bloody hell!